in this now we have impulse and we have pullback. Now, is this pullback, is it valid or not?
It is valid.
Okay. Someone else?
That's a valid pullback.
Okay. What if it's like this? Is it a pullback?
No,
It's a
that's
pullback.
an
Yes, not
It's not
valid.
valid.
Okay, it's a pullback, but it's not valid, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So until we have something like this before we can say this is a valid pullback. So now, this is how the market always look like. You see impulse and pullback, then another impulse will start again. So this should be green. You see another impulse. Then you see followed by pullback. Until the trend changes from uptrend to down. So what we are not going to have now, if we are to draw this, the parts, the structure of this market now, this is what we're going to have. So if we use our part 2, we're going to have something like this. This is the impulse. Then this is a pullback, the valid pullback. Then this is another impulse. So if you look, it broke above the first impulse. So it went like this. Then we have another pullback. So as it is now, we are already drawing the structure of the market. So that is what we've learned already. I don't know if you can still hear me.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to show you how impulse and pullback look on the structure level. So this is impulse, pullback. This is what we just did now. Another impulse, another pullback, another impulse, pullback. So this is an uptrend right now. So when we keep having impulse, pullback, that's an uptrend. So on the structural level, this is impulse pullback on the candle level. This is what you're seeing right now. On the structural level, all of this move now is the impulsive move. All of this move, that's your impulsive move. So can you see that? Do you understand what I just said? Okay, do you understand what I just explained now?
yes, sir.
Good. So you were marking impulse correction, impulse, valid pullback, impulse, valid pullback. So all of that move is what we call impulse move or impulsive move. So now we will now look at the last pullback, this one here. On that impulsive move, identify the last pullback. Then wait for price to do something like this, to come back and break it. When price breaks the last pullback, this one here that we marked here, then this move is what we call correction. So I'm going to label it. into red. So this is our correction. It is very important that you understand this. Once you understand this, trading becomes your chart becomes clear. Let me just put it that way. So remember what we want to do. We want to help you to understand what you're seeing in the markets, in the charts. Then you go to your charts and identify it for yourself. Then you can now trade it. So we are taking you through three processes. First, understand the chart. Second, identify what you are saying. Third, trade it. So now you've learned impulsive move. That's the impulse and pullback, impulse and valid pullback. So I'm telling you today now that all of that move is what we call impulsive move. Then you identify the last valid pullback and mark it. So usually we call that point, we call it the inducement, IDM for short. So I'm going to write it here. That last pullback is what we call inducement. You're going to understand it in details later on, but just know the names. So that last pullback is called inducement. So all we want to do now is now wait for price to make this move, to come back and break below the inducement. So once you see that move is called correction. So let me know if there's anything I've said so far that is not clear enough. So I'm waiting to hear your questions.
So this impulsive move and correction is on structure level.
Yes. The impulsive move. Do you understand this first one I drew here? This impulse and correction, impulse and valid pullback.
Yes, yes.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Good. So once you understand that, all of that move is what we now call impulsive move. That is, the market was just going up, going up. It was making valid pullbacks, but the pullbacks did not break below the last valid pullback. So this was the impulsive move right here. Then at a point when the price got to somewhere here, it now stopped going up. It now starts coming down. So what we are saying now is once you see the price come down and break below the last valid pullback, then a correction is confirmed. We now have a correction. Are you getting the point? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, please, inducement.
You say?
Is it a valid pullback or just a pullback? The inducement.
It's a valid pullback.
Is it a
All of
valid
this,
pullback?
yes. All of these points right here, they are valid pullbacks. All of them. It must be a valid pullback, not just any pullback. That's why we had to learn impulse and pullback before we come to this now. So it must be a valid pullback, not just any pullback. So the last valid pullback now is your inducement. Is that clear?
Sir.
Is it clear enough?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so can you identify your inducement?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we are going to look at it in the chart. So, but I want to be sure that you understand what you are seeing here first. So if I'm listening, if you have questions, you can ask. Is there any part of this diagram that is not clear enough? Do you understand the correction?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first, identify the impulsive move. Second, identify the inducement. Third, identify the correction. That's all. So usually what you're going to see happen after this correction is you're going to see another impulse to start. So I'm going to clone this. So usually after this correction, you will see another impulsive move will start again. So the observer, if the trend wants to continue, so that's what you see. So that's how the market works. So, but before we go to how the structure continues, I want to be sure that you understand impulsive move, this move, the inducement, the last valid pullback, and the correction. Because if that is clear, you are good to go. So I'm listening, you're not asking questions. Either it's not clear or okay, someone asked a question here. So if you have a question, just raise up your hand. I'll allow you to ask your question.
The impulse and correction is clear, sir.
Okay. Who else?
Clear to me too.
Okay. All right. So let's see. Okay. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So
We can hear you, sir.
all right, let's identify impulse and correction. Impulse and valid pullback on this trend. So let's say we're starting from here. So we have an uptrend from here. So we have this is an impulse. Then if you look, we have a valid pullback here. Then the market went up. We have another valid pullback here. If what I'm marking is not correct, just let me know. So we have another impulse here and another valid pullback here. This also went higher. So this again. Now I'll stop here. Now if you look at this, these are impulse, valid pullback, impulse, valid pullback, impulse, valid pullback. Now if you look at this move now, it took out this low. That's the last valid pullback before we add a break of it. Now this is our inducement. And this move now is correction. So if I want to label everything on this correction, and this is the impulsive move. Now, ask your questions. Is this clear?
Yes, coach, it's clear.
Yes, sir.
It's clear, sir.
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Okay, I think I've heard 3 people say it's clear. Who else?
Yes, clear.
Are you sure it's clear?
Yes, sir.
Because if this is
Okay.
clear enough,
Yes, sir. It's very clear.
good. Because if this is clear enough, you've just graduated to another level in trading. If you understand this that I just explained. Because the next thing that happens is the same thing. You still have another impulsive move. The market went again, did some pullback. You can see this is another impulsive move like this. Then we have a correction. See, market did like this. This was the inducement right here, the last valid pullback. So the market took it out with this move. So that's your correction. So that is what the market keeps doing. Impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulsive move, correction, impulsive move, correction. So if you say this is clear enough, then it's your turn to identify it on your chart and share it with us in the group.